Hi. So I want to share a little practical tool that has been really helpful for me when I have had a lot of kind of chaotic thoughts running around in my head, and that can often be caused by stress or by insecurity or fear of something that might happen. All those what if questions when I'm struggling with a difficult decision. What can often happen is that in the midst of that, I get quite um, just overwhelmed by all of the thoughts that are running around in my head. And when that's been quite bad, sometimes that's led to lack of sleep or just being tossing and turning in the middle of the night, trying to get to sleep, when actually what's happening is that there are just all of these thoughts running around in my head. So with that in mind, and that might be something that you experience from time to time, where you've just got so much going on in your mind that you're not really able to relax or you're not really able to switch off. Um, and I want you to imagine right now that you are in your home and it's just freshly cleaned. Everything is in its right place. Everything is exactly where you want it to be, and you're just hanging out at home. And the front door happens to be open, and in walks a chicken. Um, and when you get over the fact that there's a chicken in your house, you start chasing it to try and get it out of the house. You try to grab it. And I don't know if you've spent a lot of time with chickens, but that doesn't tend to work out very well. Before you know it, you're chasing the chicken around the room, around the house. There's feathers everywhere. They're bumping into stuff. You're bumping into stuff, trying to grab that chicken to throw it out your house. Now, the alternative is if you had let the chicken do its thing, it likely would have walked in, pecked around for a bit, looking for food. And when it found out that there wasn't any food, it would probably just leave the way it came. Now, we do that with thoughts all the time. We chase the chicken around the house when we really could sit back and allow thoughts to do what thoughts do, which is pass through our mind. And when we don't do that, when we get involved, when we do something with our thoughts, that's where we make the house messy. The whole, all of us gets messy when we're focused and fixated on trying to get rid of a thought that doesn't feel fun or that feels unhelpful. You might have a sense of, there are some thoughts that are helpful and there are some thoughts that are unhelpful, and there are some thoughts that we really don't need to be paying attention to, right? We all have thoughts like that. When we chase that chicken, we're creating more trouble for ourselves innocently. And that's a choice. That's what I want you to consider is, what if it was a choice to chase the chicken or not? What if it was a choice to rush down the rabbit hole of all of my spiraling thoughts? And what if I didn't have to grab onto that thought and throw it out? What if I didn't have to change my negative thinking into positive thinking? What if I could just allow it to do what it does naturally, which is to pass through like a cloud? That's what happens to our thoughts, is they come and go. We're having thousands and thousands and thousands of thoughts every single day. Most of them just come and go. Most of them just kind of appear 1 second and they're out the next. And for those thoughts that don't behave like that, it's because there's an active process. It's because I'm doing something to keep that thought in place. Even though it might look like I'm trying to get rid of it, even though it might look like I'm trying to do all the things that I need to do in order to not focus on that thought, in reality, all I'm doing is chasing the chicken. All I'm doing is creating the thought as a bigger thing than it really is. And that's where we get into trouble. So the next time that you find yourself, obsessing over something that you can't get out of your head, or worrying about work for tomorrow when you're trying to get to sleep at night, consider the chicken and consider that you have the choice. You have this amazing gift of free will, and you have the choice not to chase that chicken. You can let it in. You can keep that door wide open and allow the chicken to do its thing, knowing that sooner or later, usually sooner, it'll find its own way out, and another thought, a new thought will replace it. Good luck.